long day journey into night. This is Eugene O'Neill's play, and Katharine Hepburn, Ralph Richardson, Jason Robards and Dean Stockwell in it. Only 4 people, major characters, only 4 people there. And it was not my first time, but it was like a first time, because mostly I forgot about, I knew that was like a very, very confrontational fightings and all these things among those 4 members, but story-wise I don't remember that much. So it was very fresh to me, and I don't know why I was attracted to see this. I think it's because I saw Arthur Miller's Death of Salesman. It's such a good play, and after that, I have to watch the Eugene O'Neill's play, besides Tennessee Williams, like 3 American major playwrights. The Eugene O'Neills, I got to know them quite well, maybe when I was like probably 35-ish, I would say, when I was deep into Shakespeare's and other plays. And so I saw the movie Oh Wilderness by Eugene O'Neill, and that was a very delightful movie. And so I think I saw that, and then I also tried to read at the time all the other, he has a plays based on the a seaman, people who go to the sea or something, and that's another thing is there. And what can I say? It is kind of a very tremendously involved movie. I think very intense plays there, and mostly they are fighting each other, and those fighting sometimes become a little bit physical, almost. And so I just wonder why that has to be that way, why it is more or less like play has to be fighting all the times, difficulties. And I think as an audience, it's not that comfortable to watch there all the time, the relationship so tumultuous, emotional accusations, emotional turn from each utterance of the words, you get, and then all of a sudden you get, oh, I love you, or whatever, very affectionate relationship there. And so it's a long play, and I think this movie itself is about 2 hours maybe, or more than that, maybe. I don't know how long that lasted, but yeah, it's you have to focus on this particular movie or play 100% to enjoy this. And I think even though I felt it's difficult, but I understood it. It is a great play. It's a great Eugene O'Neill's probably the most popular play, I would say. And in the past, Jack Lemmon did it, and all the other great actors did it too. So it has been very popular, but it is more difficult. I think they required more involvement from the audience, concentrations and everything. So yeah, it is kind of interesting why this type of play has to be written and has to be performed and getting a good praise of it. But as you know, this particular play is very difficult to watch. In a technical level, I think it's very difficult because the story itself is the conflict between those family members, among the family members, and mostly the accusations, fighting, remembering in the past, regrets, all these things there. So, regarding these actors, I really like the Katharine Hepburn's portrayal. I think the main character is this matriarchy, Katharine Hepburn's character, who have kind of a difficult life. I think the couple lost a son early on when he was a baby, before those two sons came. And so she was already more or less affected by the loss. And she claimed that her dreams is to become a nun and or concert pianist, becoming a concert pianist. Those two things, she repeatedly talk about that. And I think she was also morphine addict, so her behavior was kind of inconsistent. But yeah, what can I say about Katharine Hepburn? Something to behold in this play. And Ralph Richardson, I didn't think of that much about in this one, because among those four actors, I think Ralph Richardson has this British accent. He played this actor who has been very, very popular and a good-looking, handsome man when he was getting married with Katharine Hepburn. And so, but Ralph Richardson is a British accent, and it's a little bit, for me, it's a little bit difficult to understand what his accent, in British accents, and I shouldn't be, when I started to watch, I just watched on my PC. But later on I have to plug into my headphone so that I couldn't miss whatever he was saying. And so, it's understandable English and everything, but for me it's a little bit difficult. And Jason Robards, great actor, he played Jamie, the second, the first older brother, and younger brother is played by Dean Stockwell. Dean Stockwell, I remember when he came out around that time, 1960s, he was very, very good looking young actors, and I remember that. But much later, probably 1980s, He was in a movie called Paris, Texas. This is a story based on Sam Shepard's screenwriting, and Natasha Kinski in it, and Dean Stockwell already he was in the middle-aged, but he was great in this movie, and so I really liked him without knowing him as a young actor around this No Long Day Journey into Night time. I didn't know him that much, but he is very talented, excellent actor, and I could tell. So yeah, I think that's pretty much sum up of all the great actors in this particular movie. Sidney Lumet was the director, and I think this is probably 1960. I think it's 62 or something, but I have to check when that was. It's black and white, and so yeah, I have to get this DVD, so I ordered the DVD. Yeah, after watching this movie free from YouTube, I have to watch this. Watching this in YouTube, for example, it's a great thing there because there's no commercial, stop or anything in this particular YouTube there, and but a great watching in YouTube, and of course, the great quality of, the visual precisions. There was very high quality video there, and so I think that's one of the things that you are so glad that they keeping those particular type of movie intact and enhanced with high resolution image, and YouTube is honoring that particular type of movies or plays or whatever, and that was fantastic. So yeah, I think if you are serious playgoer, of course you're gonna see this particular movie, and but if you're not familiar with this Eugene O'Neill or anything else, or if you have a patience to stick to it till the end, I think reward is tremendous there. I think you have to have a patience, and you have to get into it, of course, and you have to enjoy the story, what they're talking about, why they are so bitter with each other so much, why their life is so upside down, and why some people get affected by this, drug or alcohol mostly. I think they drink, and that to the point where you get drunk, and when you get drunk, your behavior is very bad. And so I think that's what it is, and it's based Eugene O'Neill. When he wrote it, he didn't mean to be a successful plays or anything. I think posthumously this particular play was played at Broadways, and I got lots of awards, Tony Awards and everything. But when he wrote it, it's like more tremendously personal. I think that's based on his own autobiographical story about his parents and brothers, and so I think you really have to understand that too as well. I was talking about all wilderness. When I saw all wilderness, it was such a delightful, fun, beautiful play, beautiful film as well. And so you never expect this type of play that he could write. And of course, Eugene O'Neill himself has a tremendously, many facet, tremendously intellectual person, and he could do that, and I think he got the Nobel Prize or something as well for this. So yeah, it was kind of a interesting, and I think if you are senior citizen and you haven't watched this particular film, I would say I 100% recommend that you pay tribute to the Katharine Hepburn, Jason Robards, Dean Stockwell, Ralph Richardson's play, Four People Pray mostly, and you kind of pay tribute to the great Eugene O'Neill's writing, I would say. And so, yeah, I think all my life after I came to the U.S., I became fascinated by this play attending culture in the U.S. And there's lots of community theater here in the U.S. and little town has a community theater, and they are participating in acting and everything. Those local people, and those are very, very good, and very kind of close to your home. Therefore, you can casually go to that kind of a play. And the high school, college has also these plays there, musical as well, and those also are very, very close to your home, and that's when I think people get exposed to this type of things there. And high school, for example, there is this drama teacher, high school dedicated to play making, the play once a year, I think, and making like a once a year event in the high school. So all those high school students, first grade, second grade, third grade high school students, has a tremendous audition process to find the good actors in high school. I think those people who acted in junior high school or high school, later on become like Broadway actors and all these great actors. So yeah, that's a start for high school here. I think in Japan it's also pretty much the same, but it's not as popular, those things in high school, because they have to study. They don't have time to participate in acting plays. So most people don't. When you're in high school, you just study for entrance exam, and that's in a way destroy their own high school life there. So in that sense, I think if you have more freedom in the U.S., I would say to act or to play musical instrument, singing, all these opportunities, and I think early on they are exposed to those things. They have a camp and a school for them, and that's where all these great actors, you know, coming all the time to the Broadway or whatever. And so Tony, this year nomination is going to be soon there. Every year I kind of you know, curious about who's nominated and which plays, which musicals are nominated and so forth. Depending on the year, and some years are more exciting than the others. But the Broadway itself, Tony nomination itself is, you know, there is no much, you know, because of the New York City, you know, all these Broadway theaters are there, not the regional, like San Francisco or San Diego or anything like that, or Boston. It's all concentrated on Broadway. So among them, the number of the plays and musical produced, you know, this past year is not that much. You know, if you produce like 10 of them, that's a good year. Musical as well, and so yeah, it is kind of difficult to produce new play. So yeah, I would say it is kind of American things. I'm not sure about Britain. You know, West End has a tremendous theater culture, but they are coming from more or less like Shakespearean, you know, experience there, and which is very different. You know, American also coming from a Shakespearean play as well, mostly, but I don't know, yeah, I would say, yeah, the theater culture is a little bit different, US and Britain. Yeah, but that doesn't mean, you know, either one is better or anything like that, but different culture. But only, you know, the thing is that all the other countries, like French and Spain, or China, or the Korea, or in Japan, they have, you know, those culture as well. But for some reason, yeah, I think the most popular one is English language plays there. Yeah, I don't know why that is. I think because of the tradition, probably, and also the culture. I think coming from Britain. I think play written in English is much more lively, I think, and most people, audiences are there to watch, especially Broadway and West End. So I think that's where you see mostly those plays in an English-speaking country. Yeah, my, you know, at the age of 77, I'm going to be 78 in July, but my adventure in going to the theater, actual live theater, almost none. No, nothing is there anymore. To me, it's all dead. Going to the live theater is dead. Even the local, like a high school plays or college musical, I don't now. So it's only YouTube is my savior there right now. I'm so glad that YouTube has that kind of things there. And mostly YouTube video is like lots of junk, right? Lots of a commercial. If you don't pay a premium, you have to be interrupted by all this junk commercial. But if it is play like this, 2 hours play, there's no commercial for some reason. I don't know why. Probably the people who post those things don't want the commercial to interrupt, so they don't want that. I think that's probably something to do with it, but I'm not sure about that. But anyway, yeah, so that's my kind of a hot day. Still May, but very hot, 100 degrees temperature during the day, and experience watching Long Day Journey into Night by Eugene O'Neill. Yeah.